Hi, everybody. Today we are on talking with Serena, who is one of the founders of the Dead Sea Company. We recently did a campaign where we shared her fabulous mask, who all Beauty Buddy team are raving about, and you can check out the reviews on the Beauty Buddy app. Serena, welcome.
Hi, Wendy.
Delighted to have you on, and I know so many people are really interested to learn more about you, and I think our users are very interested, obviously, on who's behind the company and why it was built and all. So, if you want to tell us a little bit about yourself and your founding team, that would be amazing.
Well, firstly, thank you so much for having us, or having me, and letting me talk about the brand. I am one of the co-founders. I started the Dead Sea Co-op with my sister and my brother.
Wow.
We are half Jordanian. We grew up between Jordan and the UK. So that's kind of where our connection to the Dead Sea began. We spent a lot of time there as a family, and then as I kind of got older, I lived in Jordan a couple of times after school and then after university. And it was always a place that I went to all the time, every Friday, actually, because that was the weekend. And it's truly a magical place. Really, it's so different. It's the lowest point on earth, but you've also got kind of the landscape, which is, the desert mountains hitting that kind of salty lake. And you have, I think it's about 8% more oxygen there as well.
Wow.
So it's a real place of wellness, and you feel really good being there. And then obviously you've got the really salty sea that you can't swim in, you literally do float. So that's kind of like a relaxing feeling. And then there's nothing quite like it when you come out and how your skin feels. It's like silk, it glows. It's a beautiful experience. So we kind of were really lucky to experience that. And I've experienced it a lot. And then I came back here to the UK, we moved to London, got a corporate job, was very, very, very busy, and then had my first baby. And my skin went crazy. So yeah, that is kind of the timeline of it. And so after that, my skin, I think I had rosacea flare-ups and just, postpartum skin issues. And I was like, oh, I'll look for a Dead Sea mask, because obviously I'm used to using those. And I was looking around and I was like, oh, it's not at all like the Dead Sea mud that I was using at the Dead Sea, and the kind of ingredients in it, and the harsh preservatives or fillers, or some of them, the majority of the product is water. And I was like, well, that's nothing like what we were used to using. And that's kind of how the whole Dead Sea company kind of started. My siblings backed me up and wanted to join me, and so we kind of set off on this amazing journey, I guess.
That is so cool. I think it's, so interesting when somebody, solves a problem for themselves. And I think that is like the, key to success for products, is when the founders actually have, as you said, there's Dead Sea masks out there, but actually they're probably made from someone who's never even been to the Dead Sea. But they know of how amazing it is. And I suppose, can you explain, I suppose, for anyone who doesn't know about the Dead Sea, right?
Yeah.
Like there is like magical stories about it. There's different healing stories. Can you explain just a little bit more about the actual Dead Sea to like somebody who knows nothing about the Dead Sea at all?
Of course. So I think it's a really unique place, and what makes it unique is the mineral composition in the water. So it's got, I think, about up to 80%, 80 times higher mineral content than the normal seas. So it's really, really mineral rich, and it's those minerals that have that kind of skin boosting effects, for your, the nourishing effects on your skin. And then it also has a therapeutic property. So people go there for wellness, tourism. It's a place of healing. It's, as I said, you've got that kind of outside nature, how beautiful it is and how tranquil, and it's a bit timeless, but you also have that really great for your skin minerals, mineral content. And so it has a lot of benefits for your skin. I mean, I can tell you a little about the minerals.
Yeah, absolutely.
You want to know.
Yes.
So you've got silica a mineral silica, which is really good for exfoliation. It's like a gentle abrasive mineral that just takes up that dull, dead skin cells. That's why you get that glow after using Dead Sea mud and our mask. You've got sulfur, which whilst might not smell great, it's a fantastic mineral. It's good for, it's antimicrobial, it's anti-inflammatory, it soothes redness, it's great for breakouts. It's a really great mineral, for that. You've got calcium as well, and zinc, which is really great for minimizing fine lines and wrinkles, for that kind of plump, firm look. It improves skin, helps to improve skin elasticity, which basically just means it plumps and firms the skin, and so you get that youthful kind of glow. And then it's also really hydrating. You've got magnesium and sodium that help to increase moisture levels in your skin and really hydrate your skin.
And that's all naturally occurring in the Dead Sea.
Exactly.
And when, so you're standing right at the Dead Sea, you've had your first child. It was boy or girl?
Little boy.
Little boy. You're having skin changes, which
It's normal,
obviously normal. And when you stand at the Dead Sea, you're kind of going, how do I bottle this, right? I'm sure it's like, how do we bottle this? So what is the next step? Like, what was the next step you took that?
So obviously the next step was to find somebody that knew all about, formulating Dead Sea skincare. So we found an amazing formulator in Jordan and an amazing manufacturer that already does Dead Sea skincare. So they helped us it took about 18 months. I have, I like natural products. I was really interested in what I was putting on my skin, and I think that got stronger after having babies, and just that feeling of what am I putting in my body, on my body. And so it is a little bit different because back then, especially, I think that was about 2018 or 2019, natural products in Jordan also weren't as advanced. So even for the formulator, it was quite new to all Dead Sea products were kind of made in a very similar way with the same preservatives, with this, it was kind of, this is just how it is. So it took a very long time to explain what we wanted, why we wanted it. We did a lot of research by ourselves and then passed it on to the formulator and was like, no, this is, could this be an alternative? And obviously she looked at how to make the formula effective and to make sure that all the ingredients worked really well together. So it was kind of obviously us leading on it with our idea and thoughts and what I specifically wanted, and then getting the right people to actually put that together for us.
Amazing. And then, okay, as a brand, right, so you had your fabulous idea, then you found and you worked for 18 months to develop the product. What's next? Like, how did you discover who your target market was before you even had the product for the market?
Well, this is a bit of an ongoing, I think, for all brands, fine tuning and trying to work it out. But I think for us, it was seeing that, that there's, as you said, like this amazing Dead Sea mud or Dead Sea salt. I mean, obviously the salt is great for you as well, but it's there, and the products on the market are just not doing it justice. So that's where we, and so for us, we were looking to find people with a similar, people that already like natural ingredients, that are really ingredient savvy, that know what they're putting on their skin, that know what they like to put on their skin. And so for us, it's people that are really interested in kind of pure, minimal ingredients, I would say. Another thing about our mask is that we haven't really put too much in. We don't want fillers. We don't want just a really long ingredient list. It was, what is the kind of, we wanted to kind of make that a little bit shorter and also look for, obviously I've just explained all the differences with the Dead Sea mud. Multitasking is quite important to us because, we all are time poor, especially if you have a young family or you've got a really busy job. And so having, 3 or 4 different masks for different things also wasn't really something that we wanted to have, that kind of a multitasking mask that you can use once or twice a week and just feel like you've taken care of your skin. And so that's why we added in, we've got nourishing oils, and now we've got pomegranate seed oil, jojoba oil, sweet almond oil, all 100% cold pressed. And then we've got some antioxidants in there as well. So some aloe vera, some chamomile extract. And so we just wanted a simple but really effective formula for people that basically They're time poor, but just want that they don't want that 10-step routine. They just want to be able to trust that one product can do quite a lot of things for them.
Yes, which is, and I suppose it is a growing market. We even know from like the research we do here at Beauty Buddy, like how important it is, becoming about what you put on your skin goes into your skin, right? And goes into your body. And there's definitely a much stronger emphasis on natural. But I think there's still a big education piece to be had about what natural means, because natural means different things to different companies. And we find that a lot of companies can put natural on a product, but it could be just 1% is natural, or 5% is natural. So and you're right as well on the money about the fact that people want to look after their skin, but they don't want it to be something that takes a huge amount of time, and they want products that work, right? So I suppose for you guys, it's, if you find somebody who loves your product, that's kind of a lifelong person who loves your product, right?
That's it. I guess it's niche in a way. There's a lot of people out there that like clay masks. This is kind of a similar. It's mud, so it's actually water based, a bit more hydrating. So it's if you like to use masks and you like that kind of purifying, because obviously it's the mud that brings out all those impurities. Yes. And you want a product that's natural and that's got minimal ingredients with a really effective, then yeah, I definitely think it's a great mask for that.
And what is the plan then on the from a sustainability and kind of, because obviously sustainability is becoming a very big piece in the beauty industry. Is it part of your mantra? Is it built into what you do?
Absolutely. So my background is in sustainability. That's what I did. So obviously from a packaging point of view, we're all over that. Our jars are glass. We use as little packaging as possible. Our mailer boxes are made from recycled cardboard. Our ink is water-based. We've gone all out on our packaging, and that's really important to us. And then also the conservation of the Dead Sea is also really important to us. So we're in talks at the moment. We were supporting an organization and donating £1 from each of our mask salt, and we're going to kind of pursue that partnership and see where it can take us at the moment. So we will be back on that and be able to give you a bit more information.
That is very exciting. It is, because I feel we're just seeing that people want to give back, right? And they want to help the sustainability piece, but a lot of products in the beauty industry will never be able to be 100% sustainable. It's not possible yet, but if you can even offset that, if you're buying that product, right? If you're buying that product that's not 100% sustainable, but you can offset it knowing that something that you're doing is like going to the conservation of the Dead Sea or something like that, it does, it's a really nice balance to have, because when women and men like products, they want to buy them even,
Yeah, you want to feel good about how it feels on your skin, good about how it makes you feel. There's a lot of aspects to it, and you don't want to be knowingly contributing or not giving, but like just taking. So yes. I totally agree with that. And that the conservation of the Dead Sea is so important to us. As I said, Jordan's our home anyway, and it's a really important piece. It is a bit more complicated because you have a lot of different in the Jordan Valley where the Dead Sea is. You've got a lot of agriculture, you have a lot of tourism, so it's just even like the sourcing of the Dead Sea salt and mud. It's in a much wider. It has to fit into a much wider sustainability plan. It's not just about kind of sourcing. It's about how it interacts with all the other bits around it, and how people in Jordan are able to sustain their lives. So it's very complicated. But we've had a lot of talks with people in the area who specialize in sustainability, and it just needs a robust plan that can be put in place so that, everybody can work together and work well together.
That is so cool. For your product now, like, what is the next plan? What is the big goal, as in global, obviously? But is it direct to consumer? Is it going retail? What is, or where would you love to walk down the street with your son and see your products in the window?
I mean, we still, obviously, the direct to consumer is still going to be a big part of our brand and what we want to do. We are looking to move into retail because we had our first taste of it. We actually won a small business competition and got a pop-up on Oxford Street a month ago or so, or month and a half ago. So it was really exciting. It was our first kind of taste into the retail world, and seeing our product, on Oxford Street was amazing for us, very exciting. And I think just in terms of being able to build that awareness, it is difficult for a small business with limited resources to be able to kind of get that level of brand awareness. And I think going into, a retail environment would be really good for us. So we're pursuing that as we speak. That's kind of what we're looking at the moment, and definitely internationally as well. We already are able to sell our mask, obviously in the UK and to the US as well, but we'd like to kind of expand that a little bit more as well. So and we have other products, we have other products. So,
and is there another product coming out, or is there, obviously there's a pipeline, but have you plans for the next one, or is it still a secret?
Yes, we have some ideas. At the moment, we have obviously our mask. We also have some Dead Sea salts for, baths, and we have some shower steamers, which do really, really well, which is like aromatherapy for your shower. So it's not skincare, but it kind of sits more on our self-care side of things, where taking time just to inhale the aromatherapy while you're having your shower and, having that kind of mindful moment. So that's where our, we're sitting between that skincare, or embracing skincare as self-care, and using like that, 5 or 10 minutes that you used to use your mask or to jump in the shower, to actually take that 10 minutes for yourself, so you feel like you've done something for yourself, not just jumped in and out the shower and kind of run to do something else and do the laundry and the dinner or whatever, but just to try to use it as a mindful moment, so you feel like you're kind of, looking after yourself, taking care of yourself, taking that. So I find, with 2 small boys, I find
two small boys.
Yes, I find it can be really hectic, and I am really time poor, and I do think that even 10 minutes of just breathing or just taking that time helps me so much. And that's what we want to try and encourage in our products, because obviously the Dead Sea has that wellness aspect of it, and we want people to then use that time if they can, if they want to, even if you want to call your best friend while you have your mask on, but it's to use that time wisely to make you feel good. So
how do you get that message across then? How are you getting that message across? Because obviously, speaking to you, I'm like, I can nearly smell the aromatherapy in the shower. Like, I'm totally getting that, because I'm all about, 10 minutes of self-care or whatever I can fit it in. But how do you get your enthusiasm for like self-care and wellness and your time and your story? How are you getting that across with your brand? What do you do to do that?
At the moment, obviously, we're social media.
Yes.
It's probably one of the biggest platforms to kind of talk. We talk a lot about self-care. It's a really big part of our brand, embracing skincare as self-care, and not having to have, like, again, the same with the skincare, not having to have a long-winded self-care routine. You don't have to go and spend 3 hours in a spa. Obviously that's lovely, and I love to do that, and it's great if you can. But there's something to be said about just practicing those small moments as well. So it's kind of that in between where you don't have time to do that. And so we talk about that on our Instagram, and then obviously we have email marketing that we do as well. We send out our newsletter, and then just trying to get the word out. Speaking to you, lots of different things. Trying to, as I said, it's difficult as a small business with limited resource. My time, I'm the only person that works on the brand day to day, and then on top of that, just financially, not having big budgets to do lots of paid ads, or
But I think, yeah, there is though a lot to be said about we've seen it here with like products that actually are amazing and work, right? They they do spread themselves a lot of the time, where I think we've also seen products that have like gone viral and but actually looking on Beauty Buddy at the reviews of the products, they might go viral for a short period of time, but when people actually use the products, they're not actually what they were expecting. So I think, with your passion for self-care and for the Dead Sea and your heritage, really, it's ingrained in you, and your product is absolutely fabulous because I have used it. And I'm not a big mask person. What can I say? I wasn't a big mask person. I'm not very much into the ones that I like feel like they're like dripping down your face.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just felt when I was using your mask that it was definitely I was treating myself. I had the brush is amazing quality, even like that you use to put it on. I just think, congratulations that you guys have nailed it with this product. It's just,
Oh, thank you. That really means a lot, because it's been a real labor of love, and also
yeah,
just the quality of things is really important to us, because as I said,
yeah,
the self-care is important, and we want you to feel like you're treating yourself. That's
yeah,
exactly it. We want you to get it in a beautiful box, because we want
yes,
you to open it and feel like it's a gift for you. Like,
yeah,
because even if you buy it for yourself, that's the whole point of it. It's amazing to gift to others. We want you to be able to
yes,
say, "I'll send them that because it comes in a beautiful package," and it's a
yeah.
nice unboxing
And I think
experience.
as well, people need to know as well that like it's not just a once use, right? So it's not
No,
just like
no.
you open it, you use it, you throw it out. Like, it's really good. I have my own like Beauty Buddy profile. And I do leave honest reviews. And I have put up a review about your product. And I don't love every product I try. So I am very honest.
And that's also why we wanted to come to Beauty Buddy, because it's not beneficial for us to have lots of 5-star reviews that don't that aren't real, because it won't help us in the long term, and we need to know what people like about it, what people don't like so much about it. It's really important to us, and then we can also improve and get better. So
100%. And no product is ever going to work. Like
for
everyone's going to
everybody,
love
yeah.
that is, an unreasonable expectation. But as you said, it's the learning, right? It's what somebody said they might not have enjoyed about it. And it could be just that person, because we have so many products that people go, oh, I really didn't enjoy that because it smells of peppermint.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I love peppermints, right? So that's the only reason you didn't like it. I think I'll try it. So,
And it's also realistic, when you see reviews. I mean, when I shop, I look at reviews.
yeah,
Everybody
yeah,
does. It's really important. And if a company's only got amazing things, you think, oh, hang on a minute, it's never going to be right for everybody. And as I said, we've had that, we've had amazing feedback on Beauty Buddy, on the Beauty Buddy app.
yeah,
And the more negative, let's say, comments is the smell. And that's because we haven't put artificial fragrance in it, because
yeah,
that was a conscious decision that we made.
yeah, absolutely. And the thing about it is as well is that it's like an education piece, right? It's we didn't put, artificial, you know,
We don't want to cover it up, because I guess
yeah,
the reason for the mask was to only have good ingredients in there. And if we
yes,
start trying to cover up, I mean, I think personally, because everyone smells different, it's a bit marzipan-y to me, because it has that sweet almond oil, and it has that kind of earthy marzipan. But obviously, some people might be more sensitive to the sulfur smell, and
yeah.
it is.
And I think it's like perfumes. It's the
Yeah,
exact same
exactly.
thing. I find that, there was a new perfume and I smelled it and I was like, oh, that reminds me of like dirty ashtrays, right? Because it's the
Not a nice
tobacco-y
smell.
smell that used to be in ashtrays. But like my son, who's like 18, smelled it and he was like, oh my God, that's amazing. Because he
Yeah,
has no memory of a dirty
yeah.
ashtray. So he doesn't have that trigger. So
But
it's
it's
so
exactly that.
it's
you know, as you said, it's not never going to be one product for everybody.
No.
It really matters on your skin type. It matters exactly, you know, on so many different things. And even if you like, you know, a mud mask or a clay mask, I mean, that's also a big part of it.
Yeah,
So,
100%. So my last question is more on the entrepreneurial side of being a beauty founder, skincare founder now, going from corporate world to being a founder. What is, for anyone that's thinking of starting a beauty brand or their own business, is there one piece of advice that you would give them that you wish you knew when you were starting that could have saved you?
I think there's a
Anything?
couple of things.
Yeah.
I did actually know this, but I don't think I didn't do it. I think networking and just finding the right people. It's not anything groundbreaking, but I think that you know, if I had known the people I know now back when I first launched, it would have just been a much easier journey finding the people in the right, you know, in the right niche and in the beauty industry, and not just kind of looking more broadly. So I feel like finding the right people, and, you know, not being maybe afraid to put yourself out there. You know, it's always been quite difficult for me on social media. I don't really like social media. I don't like being videoed. So that has been a real kind of, you know, just getting over that and pushing myself a little bit more, and knowing that it has to be done and there's not really much I can do about it. So I just got to do my best and not worry so much. So it's that kind of stuff that I would say. I think I knew it, but you know, putting it into practice is something different. Having the confidence to reach out to people or go up to people if you're at events and different, that takes quite a lot of courage. And you know, not feel maybe like that feeling of like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. It's that struggle, I think, of, you know, getting over that has been quite a big learning curve for me. And you know, I kind of just thought, wow, there's a gap in the market here and we could fill it, and it really isn't like that. There's a lot of work that goes into it, and a lot of pushing yourself forward.
It's a lot of being outside the comfort zone, right?
Absolutely. And I didn't realize that. I was really comfortable in my, you know, I was very comfortable. It was a world that I knew. And this is totally different, but I love it as well. I love the freedom. I don't love working all the time and just working, you know. I thought the idea was, you know, I've had my little boy, and, you know, I'm going to have the best of both worlds and be able to, you know, not commute and pick him up. And actually the reality is I just work when he goes to sleep. So, you know, that was quite funny. But it's amazing to be doing something that's yours and that you're passionate about and that you really love.
100%. And I think that's the big part of it, is enjoying the journey, right? It's not like when, you know, you're a big global brand and somebody wants to, you know, buy you or for billions. It's not about the end game. It's about like enjoying the day-to-day craziness of like roller coaster city, you know.
Absolutely. And then meeting people, you know, I mean, even just getting the feedback from the Beauty Buddy app. I mean, that validation, that feeling, like, you know, we've done a couple of face-to-face events recently, and just speaking to people and having that in-person feedback, and people saying, wow, you know, I really like your brand, I'm, you know, and buying into your brand. I mean, it's the most amazing feeling.
Yeah, well, congratulations. It's absolutely, I love it. I do love it.
Thank you so
and I've
much.
even had my 18-year-old son covered in it as well.
Oh, really? Oh,
because I think it's so important that they, you know, use
absolutely
great products for their skin at that age. And I did notice it was missing yesterday.
Oh, so maybe it's
I think it might be coming.
maybe he's using it.
So I'll go find it. Listen, it was absolutely a pleasure to talk to you, and congratulations to you and your brother and your sister. For you know, you've achieved so much already, and I hope you're celebrating everything you've done so far. And we're excited to watch your journey and be part of it. So thank you for your time.
I really appreciate you having me and taking the time to speak to me and find out about the Dead Sea Coat. It really means a lot. So thank you.